If you're looking for some fantastic tailgate food that just happens to also be my competition barbecue good luck charm, this is the video for you. Hey guys, I am Steve with Cookout Coach. We're all about trying to help you take your barbecue to the next level no matter what you need. Today, we're talking tailgate food. The fall season is creeping up on us, and to me, that means football season. When you say football season, I think football foods. To me, a good tailgate food needs to be a couple of things. It needs to be delicious, it needs to be quick, and it needs to be easy to make. If you can hit all three of those things, you've just found the holy grail of tailgate food. Today I'm going to show you just what that is for me on the Char-Griller Flat Iron Portable Griddle. So what we're going to be making today are some delicious bratwursts with some peppers and sauce, and provolone cheese all melted together. I literally cook this every Friday evening of a competition for competition barbecue. I do it because I want something delicious to eat. I also don't want to have to worry about a big ordeal to make it, and I want it quick and easy to clean up. So let's get that flat iron ready. Now to begin with, if you're like me, you might need to scrape some crud off of your griddle that's been there since the last competition. Don't worry, it really hasn't been that long, it's just I didn't have a good time to clean it up prior to the competition. We did a double last time. So we'll take out our Char-Griller griddle scraper and just go ahead and take anything off that's there. This is, for me, pretty much burnt cheese, but I should have gotten it off before. Don't be like me, clean your stuff right after you use it. With that little bit of housekeeping done, we're going to oil up the griddle, let it get warm, and I like to get it to where it's almost re-seasoning. Once I see a little bit of smoke coming off, I cut it back, let it calm back down, and then we're going to go ahead and get our bratwurst out. What we're using today are some Johnsonville chili cheese bratwurst. Now, these aren't bratwurst like I grew up eating. These are pre-cooked. I consider these hot dog plus, to be honest with you. If you want to use full-on beer brats or uncooked bratwurst, essentially is where I draw the line, you can absolutely do that, but with these, it's got the texture of the bratwurst, it's got that sausage, every little bit of the thing that I'm expecting, with the exception of it was pre-cooked like a hot dog. So I don't really need to take temperatures to make sure that everybody will be safe. I just know as long as I get them hot and get them warm through the middle, it'll be a delicious meal. Now we're going to use this griddle essentially like a hot dog roller you would see at a hot dog shop or maybe at a gas station that serves your favorite hot dogs. But we're going to place these brats on the griddle surface, let them cook on one side, and then we're just going to take our hand and roll them over. I do need to give you a warning, the longer we cook these, they will get very hot, so make sure if your hands are sensitive at all, use some heat gloves. Just go ahead and throw on a cotton glove under that nitrile glove, or use some tongs to turn these. The last thing I want is you to accidentally burn yourself following my instructions. Right after we get those brats on, we're going to go and cut the heat down to about halfway on our griddle. And this time we're going to introduce the peppers. Now what I'm using today are a brand called Oliverio peppers. They're a local brand to me here in north central West Virginia, but any sort of peppers in a marinara sauce are going to give you the same effect. I really want these because that bratwurst and the cheese that we're going to put on it are so rich. The acidic note in this sauce and peppers are really going to cut that and make this even more enjoyable. So I like to just take a foil loaf pan, something I know after we're done I can throw it away. I set it right in the front of my griddle and just put as much peppers in as you're going to use today. For me, I'm going to put in about half a jar, but just as much or as little as you want to use. That's going to heat up while it's on this surface. The little fact that you can heat stuff up on this flat iron is possibly one of my favorite little hacks that somebody told me about that I never thought of on a griddle. So cool, I love it. So all we're doing right now is letting our peppers heat up and keep turning our brats. Finish these out like you normally would for say a hot dog or a bratwurst. To me, I like to get a little bit of char on them. I like to get them a little blistery on the skin, and that's how I know they're done. Somewhere between 5 to 7 minutes in, these things are good. They're ready to come off the cooker. Now it's time to take our sausage roll. Make sure you don't buy a regular hot dog bun. You want something with a lot of space. So get a sausage roll or a hoagie roll, something with plenty of space, because remember, we're going to fill this with not just our brat, but also some sauce and peppers. Go ahead and put your sausage roll face down on the griddle. We're gonna get a nice little toast on the inside. No more than maybe a minute or so. At this point, I want to cut the heat all the way back to pretty much the lowest portion that I can get to. We'll go ahead and we'll flip our buns over. You can see we got a nice toast here, and because our griddle was already oiled up, we didn't need to butter it, although you could if you'd like to. We're going to place a brat in each one of these rolls. Then we're going to spoon in some peppers and sauce. Now to top it all off and really make it what I want it to be, we're going to put 2 slices of ultra thin provolone cheese onto each sandwich. And finally, to help it melt, I like to take a half-size foil pan and put it over top of these 2 sausages. Now you don't have to do this, it'll melt on its own, but if you can do this or any sort of pan, anything to trap the heat, it's going to help that cheese to melt. And in about 30 seconds, they look like this. They are incredibly hot, so be careful taking them off and give them a couple minutes to cool down before you bite into them. So that's it. My go-to tailgate food, also my good luck charm at comp, so let's give this one a shot. That's money in the bank all day. The reason I came up with this recipe is because it takes me all of 15 minutes from start to finish. It's quick, it's easy. As you saw, I did most things in pans, so when I'm done, I just toss them. Hey, if you don't want to do that, feel free to use a regular potter pan. I like those foil pans. Even on the smaller Char-Griller portable flat iron, I do 12 brats every single competition. I could easily do 24 or 30, so I could feed a ton of people with this recipe. The more you feed, the recipe is going to take the same amount of time. It's just a great summertime classic, and I really recommend you try it. I love these. You've got tons of savory and rich notes from all the pork fat in that sausage, but then the red sauce and peppers bring the acidity to really cut that, so the richness by the cheese and the sausage isn't overwhelming, and you can actually enjoy this whole thing all the way through. And the next step for me in this process is I need to go re-season my flat iron. But if you're looking for another quick, delicious food you can feed a lot of people with, meet me over here and let's get at it.